Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay. Hi. Hey YouTube. Happy Sunday. So I am re-recording this video because I had some sound and focus issues. So if you see me looking down, it's because I'm trying to check what I said on the previous video. So I'm recording this video. As I said before on the previous video, I wanted to let you know of why you need your spouse, or why I needed my spouse, why I learned that I needed my spouse. Before we get into it, I'll say the common YouTube thing. If you like this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, share it, turn on the notification. As I said before, and I'll say it 1,000,001 times, I didn't start this channel in order to get any likes and subscribes and stuff, or to make it big. The intention was to get the thoughts out of my mind and off my heart, and if it reached somebody who needed it, then that would be their blessing and that would be my gift to them. So let's get into my reasons why I feel like I need my spouse. So the first reason for me is that okay, I'm just gonna keep talking, and I'm sure my husband's gonna edit this out. So I would always be the person who would be like, I don't need nobody. When I was in my single season, I'd be like, I don't need anybody. And partially that was true, because I didn't need anybody in certain regards. Like, I didn't need any help financially because I was able to take care of myself. Like, I wasn't out here living in no mansion or nothing, but I was taking really good care of myself. But there were other ways in which I did need a person, and I'm glad that I met my husband, because he provided me with the things that I didn't know I needed until I had them. So the first thing that I got from my husband was he helped me draw closer to God. And in drawing closer to God, I mean that he got me to have this more natural, comforting, relaxed relationship with God. He didn't force it. He didn't like say, oh no, this is the type of relationship you're supposed to have, this is what you're supposed to do, this is how you're supposed to talk to God. It was nothing like that. It was very calm. It was more leading, and I was able to see him in that leadership role, and I was able to, in our family, and I was able to follow him in his actions. Sidebar. And that's me talking about from the beginning. But like right now, in the present, it was the most beautiful thing I ever seen in my life, right? I was sleeping and I woke up out of nowhere. I just popped my eyes open and I kind of glanced to the side, and he was asleep. Well, he wasn't asleep. He thought I was asleep, and he was like praying, and I could see what he was mouthing, because I read lips very well because of my hearing issue. And so I was like I was reading what he was mouthing, and he was praying to God for our family. He was praying to God for me. He was praying to God for us before he set his feet on the ground. And that was so important to me, to see, him in what he does. I had never seen him do that. Like, it wasn't a secret. I knew he prayed. I just didn't know that he prayed before he got out of the bed. And while I'm not ashamed that I didn't know that about my husband, because I think it's very important that we have these private moments. Even within our marriage, we have moments to ourselves, especially private moments with God. So I was just so happy to see him doing that. So like I said, he drew me closer to God in a leading way, a way that felt comfortable, a way that allowed me to naturally develop the type of relationship that I wanted to develop with God, the type of communion that I wanted to have with God. And it is, it's natural, it's good, it's something that I feel like we can truly bring other people into when I say other people, I mean like children, and it won't feel like forceful. It'll feel really, really good and comforting. My second point was that he brought me into a perception of like a different view of family. Like a different view of family. Like, it's no secret I don't have no crazy family or anything. They're crazy, right? Everybody got a little crazy in their family. But I don't have this terrible family where I'm like completely like withdrawn from them. To be honest, like I'm really close to a lot of people in my family, especially like my mother, like my brothers, my nieces and my nephews, and my grandmother. Heck, my aunts and uncles, everybody. I'm close to everybody. But I do tend to separate myself a lot, not for any reason like my family's a bad group of people or anything, but it's always been a defense mechanism for me to always connect enough to where you know that I care, but keep enough distance so that you can't hurt or offend me. And I did not know it, when I was doing that with my own family, that was making it hard for them to connect with me, But when I met my husband's family and he brought me into his family, I started to develop these really awesome close relationships. Like I said, my mother is my best friend, like diehard bestie. I talk to my mama every day, like every morning, every evening. And when we don't talk, we kind of beef with each other. I'd be like, you ain't want to talk to me? But it's not a problem, it's just joking. I love my mother. My mother is my best friend. But I got a bonus. I got my mother-in-law, and she is literally one of the most kind, sweet, amazing, giving, loving, caring people that I've ever met in my whole entire life. And she is a true blessing on my life. Like, I can talk to her about anything, and she always has like words of wisdom, guidance, direction, help, whatever. She's always there, and I thoroughly appreciate her. And I'm so thankful to God for placing her into my life. Because of course I got her son and I got her and multiple other members of his family as well. His brothers are truly amazing and they're very welcoming, and all of his other family members, cousins, aunts, like one of his cousins is actually now one of my closest friends as well. So just everybody, like his family, they just accepted me really easily, and their acceptance and their love and that me building those relationships with his family made me want to continue to build more relationships with my own family. So being with my husband made me put a bigger spotlight on the idea of family. And in addition to that, I've talked about him. I've talked about my bonus stepson, and my role as being this instant stepmom, which is literally the dopest role ever. He also made me want kids. Not that I just was always like to kids. It was just before we met, while I was single in my single season, I didn't know if I wanted kids. It wasn't a hard no, but it also wasn't a hard yes. It was always if I get them type of thing. But as you can see on the previous videos, I'm in a fertility journey and I am praying for a child, and I will be thankful whenever God blesses us with a child. I want a kid or more, and I never thought I would be in this place where kids would be like at the forefront of my mind, but they are. And I think that's a beautiful thing when somebody can make you see why it's worth it. That's amazing. And my third point is actually a two-parter, right? It's like 3A is he helped me to see that I was worthy of love. And not like in some way like I didn't think people could love me, or I didn't think that love was something that I could have. It wasn't that I didn't think it was attainable. It was that I didn't think that it would be genuine. I thought that it would always come with I love you because, But my husband has taught me that it's okay to have the love without all the bells and the whistles and the shows and the look at me type of thing. and it still feels perfect. Like, he showed me that I'm worthy of a genuine, natural, uncomplicated, beautiful love. And I didn't think that that even existed. I thought that love had to always have something on it, something attached to it, like, oh, I love you because this. And when we first got together, I used to always say, he would be like, oh, I love you, and I'd be like, why? And he'd be like, because. That was it. It was just because. I love you because. And I would always want him to continue that sentence. But the more that I've learned him, the more that I know he loves me just because. Just because I'm me. Just because I am the person he loves. I am deserving of that love. He loves me even in my completely worst days. And some of the days where I'm like looking at myself in the mirror, like, and I'm not talking on a physical level, I'm saying I'm reflecting on myself, and I'm like kind of hard to love, on a personal level. He still thinks that I'm it. And it's always shocking to me, but he does. He loves me just because, and it's genuine, and it's natural, and it's truly beautiful. And he taught me that. And the 3B, I guess you will, or number 4, however you want to call it, is he balanced me out. He's the calm to my crazy. I've always been a little, I guess, fly at the mouth is how, the old people would say it. I've always been a little, fly at the mouth. I've always had something to say. If I was passionate about something, if something made me mad, if something got under my skin, I was going to say something about it, and you was going to hear it, because I was going to make sure you heard it. And I would always do that, and I didn't think there was a problem with it. And to be honest, sometimes I still don't think there's a problem with that. But I had to learn that there was a time and a place for me to tell people how I felt, and tell people what I thought, and tell people where they could go and how to get there. But I also learned through, relationship and engagement with my husband, that sometimes the things that I was doing, the things that were making me angry, the things that I was passionate about, the things that were pissing me off, they were causing anger, they were causing sadness, they were causing anxiety, depression, heck, even like ulcers in my stomach. They were causing physical problems, mental problems, emotional problems that they didn't even need to cause. Like, if I could learn to balance it out and truly take some things like a grain of salt, I wouldn't have all these issues. I wouldn't be sitting here like, oh, why does my stomach hurt? Oh, why does my head hurt? My head was hurting because sometimes you don't need to give them that energy. Sometimes you don't need to argue with people. Like, you can see my husband in the little snippets that I'm going to put in this video, and he's a bigger guy. And of course, I always put him down in the description, so don't forget to check out his channel, Herc. He's a bigger guy, and when people see him, especially like people I work with, they go, oh, I don't want no problem with that guy, I don't want no problem with that man. But honestly, he is the gentle giant. He is the big guy. Yes, naturally, physique wise, he's big, but emotionally, he's a calm person. He's very nonchalant about a lot of things. He don't let many things bother him. And I had to learn that that's not a bad way to be at all. It's good for your mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical health. And there were times where I would be like something would get on my nerves, and I'd be ready to go to war. I'd be ready to like fight it out with other people, heck, sometimes even with him. And I'd look to my left, and he'd be sitting there, just like cool as a cucumber, just chilling, not a care in the world. And I would have to redirect. I would have to stop myself from having that kind of intense emotion, because 1, it's not necessary. 2, they don't deserve it. And the most important, number 3, I am a reflection of my husband, and he don't deserve for me to be acting up like that. and making him look a kind of way, you know. So he's literally the calm to my crazy, the yin to my yang, you know, like he balances me out, and that was something that I never knew I needed. So that's my 3 points, right? My husband drew me closer to God. He made me think more about family, made me consider family, made me want a family. And he shows me what true, genuine love is. And he is the calm to my crazy. He is my balance. And all of those things I didn't know I needed, but I did. I definitely needed it. So if you find somebody, or you know somebody, or you're with somebody who shows you a different side of you, shows you a different side of life, shows you that, like, they give you value, they add value to your life, and you feel like you don't want to lose that, hold on to them. I know I sound like a crazy person, right? But when I met my husband, I was like very chill about our little dates and stuff. But when I met my husband, when I got to know my husband, and when I sat down and I reflected on me with him, I said to myself, I'm not going to let this man go. And I feel very confident in saying that he feels the same way. He doesn't want to lose me, and he's not going to lose me. So when you find somebody like that, you hold on to them. You pray to God to keep you together. You pray together, you pray separately, and you do the work. Because, you know, having faith in God, holding your marriage or your partnership together, but not putting in the work, it's a waste of your time. And a waste of pretty much everybody's time and energy in that situation. So stick with it. If you find somebody that's worth it, do the work, say the prayers, have the faith, and stay in it. Stay in it every single time. I hope you enjoyed the message. If you liked it, give it a like, give it a share, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel, whatever you want to do. Don't. You know, I'm open to either one. It doesn't matter. But I hope you enjoyed the message, and peace and many, many blessings to you.